Welcome viewers. I'm going to start video lecture sessions on subject Internet of Things. So in the first lecture, basically we'll be covering several topics like first of all we'll try to introduce with the terminologies IoT, what are the different characteristics of IoT and its applications and how to classify those applications into various categories. And in the second part of the same, we'll be discussing about different IoT layers, IoT enablers, etc. So first of all, if we want to understand the meaning of IoT, which at present is becoming very popular with respect to all the sectors in our society. In the era of 2000s, we have been using internet and it's gained very much popularity nowadays. So why not it use in different sector for the benefit of human being? Thus, it's come in mind that if it is really possible to connect all the devices, appliances in the different sectors of our society with the internet, it will be helpful for us. Thus, this concept comes, which is terminology as Internet of Things. As far as definition is concerned, we can define it as IoT is a network of physical devices, and in this physical device, we may have vehicles, home appliances, and so many other components of our society. So, with these components and other items embedded with electronics, software, sensors, actuators, and internet connectivity, which enables this object to get connected and exchange data. So, with all these components, starting from physical devices, along with the help of electronics, softwares, sensor actuators, and obviously internet, it is possible to form the Internet of Things. Each thing is uniquely identified through its embedded computing system, but is able to interoperate within the existing internet structure. Obviously, if several devices are connected with the system, we need to identify them properly with their unique name, and it must also be possible to communicate among the several devices as well, not only with the human beings but also between the devices as well. It may also defined in the way internet also things can also be defined as an internet technology connecting device, machines, and tools to the internet by means of wireless technology like Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, Zigbee, etc. Whenever we are connecting some devices, it's need to connect with the local network, like some with the help of local connectivity. Those are in the form of maybe Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, Zigbee, etc. Now, based on all these things, if we observe the application of IoT or availability of IoT in different sectors, it comprises of all the aspect of our society, starting from home appliances, in agriculture section, in energy sector, in big industries, even small appliances which human being uses in their daily life, as well as in health sector as well. We can find the application of the IoT. So when these terms become popular or comes in our in the 2000s, we are heading into a new era of ubiquity where the users of the internet will be connected in billions and where human may become the minority as generators and receiver of traffic. It is true that at present days every human beings are using mobile phone and internet, but it may happen in upcoming days that human being becomes the minority users, whereas so many others appliances around us will become the majority. That's why instead of most of the traffic will flow between the devices, all kind of things refers here. If all the devices, all the appliances from large industry to some very small house appliances may belongs to this term things, thereby creating a much wider and more complex Internet of Things. Whenever these things will be connected with the Internet for the communication between them, between the device and human beings, that will generate or produce the Internet of Things. Some of the wide area where IoT enablers found in RFID, nanotechnology, sensors, smart networks, etc. So once we want to use this particular thing, we must have the following characteristics in it. What are those? First of all, interconnectivity. As so many devices wants to uh, join together by means of internet, so interconnectivity should be properly associated with it. With regards to IoT, anything can be interconnected with the global information of communication infrastructure. So any network must capable of connecting all the devices, not only the computers, but also even a small device, it has to connect with the system. And it must provide all the things related service. IoT is capable of providing things related services within the constant of things such as privacy policy, semantic consistency among physical things. So, not only the connection, it has to provide all the kind of services that a device requires, as well as it must able to exchange the data among all the physical devices as well. Heterogeneity. It is true that uh, when internet connection is done only with the computers, we can consider a similar kind of devices are connected. But whenever we are trying to provide the things related service, the different kind of different type of device or system may be associated with the internet. That's why that IoT network should be heterogeneous in nature. They must able to give supply to all the type of systems. The device in the IoT are heterogeneous based on different hardware platform applications. As because it may be a large industry and it may be a household devices, or it may be a uh, medical instrument. So we must provide that heterogeneous or dynamic system for all those devices. Dynamic changes, like we cannot expect that all the system will always be connected with the internet. It may happen that depending on the requirement, depending on the traffic, depending on the situations, the device may either connected or disconnected or may go into sleeping mode or even in case of emergency it may wake up suddenly. So our IoT network must be capable of providing or take care of all these aspects. And we must not forget about this. The number of devices can be changed dynamically. Suddenly, a very small number of systems, and within the next instant, it may goes or increase its number up to a large extent. So all this point has to take care by the network. In our mass scale. So when we think about the internet users as a human being, it may be counted or it may either millions, but when the devices are is all the devices in any household to large industries started connected with the internet, its scale will be enormous. That's why our networks should have been capability to address all the devices which are connected with the system, and the management of generated data and their interpretation for the application purpose will be more critical. So when large number of devices are connected, so definitely it will generate a huge amount of data that all has to take care with efficient manner. Safety. So we must not forget about safety of any instrument, any system when it is connected with the global network. We may draw lots of benefits from the internet, but at the same time there is a chance to expose all the personal information to the global as well. So our network should have the capability to uh, provide the personal safety, physical safety, and secure all the information at the right place. So we have to ensure this point very specifically. And the finally, connectivity. Connectivity enables networks, accessibility, and compatibility. Accessibility is found on a network, while compatibility provides the common ability to consume and produce data. So, if a device is compatible, then it can easily connect with the system, it can easily produce the data as well as consume the data. So, connectivity should be properly established with the network. Naming and addressing. So, when the devices are connected, it has to identify properly to communicate with it. That's why we should have some mechanism so that each device is uniquely identified within the network, even its number in the billions range. Next, if we look at the application area of the IoT, as it is said, it's found application in every sector in our society. But at present is it's found that mostly it is used in the industries which having a range almost of 40% at present in healthcare system, and then the other sectors like retail sectors, home security and personal security sectors, and all other sectors. Now if we talk about smart home or application of IoT in home appliances. So we may want that before I reach to my house, AC should be on so that we get comfortable environment in our home. And it may happen we leave our house but forget to put off the light or some appliances. So in a smart home which where IoT is established, we can able to monitor and control all the appliances from the outside. And it may also happen that we are at the outside but suddenly guests come. So with the help of the internet, we can open our house for our guest as well. So a smart home with the help of IoT can provide us all these kind of facilities. Wearables. Nowadays, different wearables like ECG sensors and others are available, which continuously monitor health condition of the human being, even at the sleeping mode. So these wearables help us to judge our health situation and gather and produces all the data for the further analysis. So smart wearables also help human being for the better health conditions. Connected cars, smart cars, which help us in the form of say some cars coming from the other side, and depending on its indicator it takes a decision, or depending on the speed of the vehicle in front or backside it can also give the signal to the driver so that proper action can be taken. Smart industries, as it is shown that at present where IoT is mostly used. So here, if all the instruments, all the system connected with the internet, then we can call it a smart industry or industrial internet of things. So then it will be termed as smart industry. Smart cities, smart cities, where at every aspect internet will be connected, and depending on the requirement like traffic congestion, pollution, and any other security aspect, it can communicate with all. For example, uh, in any city areas, if the belly test is full, it can produce the information and give the information to the municipality so that they can automatically get the news and take necessary actions. Smart agriculture system. In case of smart agriculture system, uh, water supply, pesticide monitoring, and all other aspects can be sensed and required action can be taken. Smart retail. Nowadays, we are all facilitating with the in online purchase, and it is easily able to we can find out or track where my package is, and depending on that we can take actions, and through the online mode we can generate lots of requests or order lots of requests. So it's become this digital system also becomes smart with the help of internet of things. Energy management, that means in our daily life, once energy requirement is less, and in the day session and even in the night session energy requirement is more, and depending on that, that power generation can be controlled, and if IoT or this system mm, ca- uh, produces and stores the information about a city when the requirement is more, when requirement is less. Depending on that, it can suggest or control that generation. It will be much more effective for us. And smart healthcare system, as it is said earlier, the next level of IoT use in the healthcare sector, where it may happen that patient monitor in online mode, or in case of any emergency, the system will automatically give the information to the maybe doctor, nurses, or even sometimes it's a patient home person as well. Smart poultry and farming. In this case, also IoT may be used by using some sensors or video capturing that poultry or farming is continuously monitored, and if some animals suffering from some disease, it can be monitored, and accordingly action can be taken. First of all, it can be take out of there, so that other animals does not affect from that, and then it will become smart in nature. Smart dust, this concept basically talks about nano sensors, where sensors, number of sensors will be enormous, and they will be spread in the environment at different sectors, different sections, so that that individual item can perform its dedicated task. It can sense, it can capture data, as well as it can transmit the internet information through the internet as well. And it is said in the form of dust because it's enormous scale. Other than that, we can find the application of IoT in these areas also. Smart parking, uh, before we enter, it can suggest in which location parking is free. Structural head, noise urban maps, smartphone detection, traffic congestion, smart lighting, waste management, smart road, river flood, smart grid, tank level, photovoltaic installations, water flow, silt stock calculation, perimeter access control, liquid presence. In all these sectors, IoT application is found. So based on all these applications, primarily we can categorize IoT in two sectors. One is called industrial IoT, or in short IIoT, and other is the consumer IoT. So when heavy machineries, transportation, smart cities, all the appliances are connected with the IoT, they will belongs to the category industrial IoT. And here automation can be done, and health monitoring system, that in hospital, nursing homes, all comes under this industrial IoT category. And in case of consumer IoT, where all the household appliances, starting from wearables, phones, TVs, fridge, AC, etc., all are connected with the internet. It will be called as consumer IoT. So, talking about the industrial IoT, these are the factors we have to uh, take care. If our factory equipment has sensors connected to the industrial internet, then it is a part of IIoT, where all the sensors, system, device connected with the internet. In an industrial IoT, a device connected to both an IP network and global network. I mean, um, within the industry itself and with the global network, so that from the outside also uh, different system operation can be monitored. Connectivity between the nodes is done using regular as well as industrial specific technology. It may happen that all these sensor nodes can be monitored via its own industrial specific technologies like HART protocol, wireless HART protocol, etc. Or it may be done with the help of regular network system. The IoT is important but not critical, while the IIoT failure often result in life-threatening or other emergency situation. As we know that in industry, if there is any kind of failure occurs and instrument fails to take care of it, then a life-threatening may happen. We may lose so many lives. So we have to take care about that fact. When we are going for IIoT, we have to ensure all the devices acting properly and emergency situation can be taken care properly. IoT provide an unprecedented level of visibility throughout the supply chain. Then individual item cases, pallets, containers, and vehicles can be equipped with auto identification tags. So definitely, by means of RFID applications, all the items present or associated with this industry can be globally monitored. And finally, the IoT generates medium or high volume of data, whereas IIoT generates massive amount of data. For example, one motor may generate few GB of data per day. So proper storage element we must have to store all those data properly. And in case of consumer IoT, as such, life threatening matter is not there, but we have to ensure the security when it is exposed to global network. So this point we have to take care. If our thermostat refrigerator is connected to the internet, then it is a part of the consumer IoT. That means simple household devices. IoT device communicate with the local network device, and the communication to outside internet is done through the gateway. Local communication in turn mostly via wireless communication method like Bluetooth, Zigbee, Wi-Fi, etc. The consumer IoT has an impact on the end consumer as basically human being are associated with it. So depending on the services, it creates lots of impact on the users. Consumer IoT refers to the use of smart objects which are everyday things in association with the IoT of the normal household things. It's become smart as the example given. Depending on the requirement, the devices may turn on or off. So we can call it's become fall in a category of smart objects. It is mostly about the human interaction with the objects. Next part we will continue about the IoT enablers.